No, it's auto-played into Roller Mobster again.
Here, here's a random song.
Sure.
Wait, I might have something better.
Just walk off with his boombox.
No, this is the music that's playing from like the loudspeakers as we're approaching. Here, boom.
That one has a browser extension required.
It does?
Yeah.
It shouldn't actually.
Best of the Alan Parsons Project. Isn't it like 2 songs?
Which reminds you of Temple of the Dog, where it's
That's like 1 song.
yeah, there's Hunger Strike and I think one other. Because it's like
Okay.
2 bands come together for like a song.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
All right.
I'm ready.
There should be an in-browser or on the player. All right. Actually, I turned it down too a little bit. All right. All right. Starting us off. Let me. It's been a while. I'm rusty.
Hi, Rusty. I'm Dakota.
Hi, Dakota. Nice to meet you.
Little Rusty Venture. It's Little Rusty Venture.
All right. The 5 of you have been contacted as of late at odd hours by a single woman on the other end of the line, someone who calls herself Mrs. Belgrade. They start out pleasant conversations. How are you? Hope you had a good afternoon. Blah blah blah. Very friendly. Before quickly taking a turn of a job offer. She heard about some of you through friends or colleagues, others through what's the word for it? What am I looking for? Productions you've made. I think you know who you are. And has mentioned being a fan of your work for each and every one of you in different aspects. You've all experienced roughly the same phone call, and it ends with her offering an exorbitant amount of money. Name your price. Blank check levels of insane amount of money. But the job has been left very vague. You've been given a time, a date to arrive at a bus station outside of some small nowhere town in upstate New York. And that's where we start off with the 5 of you standing around a sort of dingy, beat-up bus station in the middle of January. Snow is heavy on the ground around you. If you'd like to describe your characters, we can go in order of the player list, which I believe has Mr. Wolfgang at the top of it.
Yeah, Wolfgang is like a tall, kind of slim, white guy, blonde hair, blue eyes. He's dressed sharp, and he looks pretty happy to be here, frankly. He's like just kind of grinning.
All right. Edwin, if you'd like to describe yourself.
Yeah. So Eddie is Italian American. He's got fairly light skin, and he is a bigger dude. He's like, think power lifter more so than bodybuilder. A little bit of a gut to him, and he is. He would refer to himself as a slab of meat. He has more muscles than pretty much anything else. Mostly shaved head, like very, very thin hair. And he looks like he's had the shit kicked out of him more times than any other person really should have. And The only other noticeable thing is that like one of his eyes is like this dark hazel, and the other is this like bright green color. And while everybody's sort of sitting around waiting for this, he's probably like pacing in a circle, just sort of doing like jumping jacks or something to keep his blood pressure up, because while he does have a coat, it is very cheap and is very clearly like not meant for the current weather.
All right. Frankie.
All right, Frankie Bar. Almost looks just like the picture that you see for him. He does have that kind of greasy, thinnish, dark hair. He's wearing that that kind of like little cap kind of deal with the glasses, the black rim glasses and whatnot. A little pudgy, overweight kind of person. He seems to be kind of interested in everything, so he's always like looking around, not really investigating it per se, but he seems to be quite aware. And he has this charisma that just kind of oozes off him. Not well, both oozes in a physical sense, as well as oozes in just that charismatic aura kind of sense. He's definitely kind of a little sweaty from having the bus ride, but he also seems very excited on the fact that he had a bus ride.
Yeah.
You do see he seems to have like this fanny pack that he's actually wearing. He has cargo pants on, and the pockets seem to be really full. He has one of those like fisherman's vests on that has the pockets there seem to be full of stuff too. And the one thing that you can see that is obvious is there's a camcorder that is connected to this jacket that he's wearing that he can use immediately pull to record stuff and things like that.
Take us to Misha.
Okay, so compared to like everybody else that's wearing very, modern or cheap clothes, she kind of looks like she stepped out from a different era, so to speak. She's got a very nice high-necked dress on, and she is tall. She's probably taller than some of the men, and she's very pretty, very pale skin, very black hair. She's wearing, an Okot symbol around her neck, of an Og. She just seems to be very quiet. She's not saying anything. She's not getting near anybody else. The only person that she seems to be remotely interested in being next to is the person that's standing right beside her, Peter.
If you'd like to describe yourself, Peter, the person Piotr, standing next to Misha.
Yeah, next to her is standing someone that's about 6'5", rather pale man. It looks like he's basically out of the history books almost. A very old, almost musty, and clearly patched but otherwise well maintained old uniform of a Cossack, along with a winter hat. Very much looking grizzled, like he's had a hard life. Definitely up there in age as well, like in his 50s, maybe his early 60s. Has the look of a hard drinker. But the very first thing you would have probably noticed is that he immediately would have giving you the scoping you out look.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely seems to be lingering with his gaze for a little while on that camcorder of Frankie Bar there. After he seems to have done that, he seems to be mostly focusing now on scoping out the place, looking at the windows, the environment. Occasionally whispers something to Misha. But yeah.
I need to go get a bandage. I fucking cut my finger real bad. I'll be right back.
Well, this is what happens when you put it in knuckle deep.
Jesus.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
you can also tell, despite his worn look, that he's actually quite has like a very strict posture. His movement is still
Very
good.
regimented.
Yeah,
Misha also seems to be
Like
playing-
militaristic kind of posture.
yeah.
Okay.
Misha kind of
Like,
resembles
Wha-
those really mean old teachers, and she has a staff like that looks like she could beat your knuckles at any second just for saying something wrong.
Wolfgang would probably look like relatively similarly like nose lifted prissy type of, you know, that type of dick.
yeah.
That's it.
guy.
That type. Everyone is slightly beneath him, but just ever so slightly.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Much
Yeah, I
much like
sliced my finger open trying to open a can of Coke somehow.
much
Jesus.
like
Yeah.
Frankie Barr, he is also a charismatic presence, except of a different sort. His eye is definitely very warning, almost, just by default.
As you guys,
Very sharp gaze to him.
as you guys are standing around, kind of sizing each other up, curious, and trying to keep your body temperature up in the freezing winter winds. The town around you is eerily quiet. Every now and then you'll see some beat up old pickup or a little hatchback drive by on like a few streets away, but it's almost a ghost town. There's no one in the windows. All the shops along this main road seem boarded up and closed, perhaps quarantine, perhaps not, who knows. But definitely a little extra quiet. About 20, 30 minutes into your waiting, once you've all arrived, there's a slight rumbling of a vehicle approaching, the engine going. And coming around the corner down the main road, you see a stretch limousine. Black tinted windows. Sorry, excuse me. Solid black, matte black finish on it, and it drives right up beside all of you, and the back door opens. Stepping out is a tall man, probably just around 6'2", 6'3". Not the tallest person around, but definitely not a small man. Wearing a prim and proper black suit with a pair of what look like almost blue surgical gloves over each of his hands, and he gives a slight bow towards all of you. With a wonderful full mustache on his face. Actually, I have a reference here. Sorry, I closed the thing like I'm an idiot.
No, you're not.
Discord hates me. There we
Discord's
go.
being a shit right now. We're looking
Yeah.
at,
They're having issues with the servers.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes, the classical British stash.
Yes. Kind of a larger nose, but sharp cheekbones, relatively handsome face, slick back, brown hair. He looks at all of you guys. It is good to see you're all here. Please come inside. Mrs. Belgrade is waiting all of you. Please. And he steps to the side and holds open the door and gestures into the limousine.
And you are?
I am Grayson Webb, the lady's butler.
Well, it's a pleasure. Wolfgang is getting in.
Yeah, make sure you get in. Inside it is a rather proper attire. Not a party limousine by any means, but nice brown leather seating kind of around all four walls with a table in the middle, almost like a conference room in a car. There is a TV screen on the wall kind of towards the driver's side, but otherwise it is rather plain.
Piotr gives this guy the once over look. Does he seem like a
Roll
capable sort?
roll an insight check and a perception check for me. He does look rather capable, quite fit. He seems perfectly calm, but you do see as you're looking over him, he has some kind of firearm tucked under the suit, the jacket. It's just ever so slightly imprinting underneath his left arm.
Okay,
Hit me with that name again.
Grayson Webb.
I probably can't tell what gun it is, right?
Not just from looking at it, no.
So the second the door is open, Edwin just sort of like nods his head to the guy and goes, "Now this is what I'm fucking talking about, guys. This is great." And he just like walks in to the limo, like full stop, doesn't like stop for anything, like pats the dude on the way by, just like, "Yeah, good looking out, buddy," and just like slides in.
Absolutely, Master Right. Yeah, it is. For his sake, it is quite warm in there. The heater is on, thankfully.
It
Should
is
break
good.
it in.
It is good of
Frankly,
you.
Sorry,
Sorry,
go ahead. Jinx, you owe me a soda. For being polite, bitch.
It's always
Fuck
happens.
you. Fuck you, it's my soda.
Wolfgang is like, frankly, I wasn't sure all of you were also invited, or if you were just bus stop people. But I suppose it will be a pleasure to get to know you all anyway.
Do I look like a bus stop people?
He blinks. Yeah.
Uh,
How would you
So-
like me to answer that? Delicately or frankly?
Misha's just laughing. She doesn't
I
say
mean-
a whole lot. She's just laughing.
You're an amusing sort, aren't you?
Misha,
Yeah.
roll me an Arcana check.
Oh. Hello. 16.
Looking around the inside as you are laughing and kind of getting relaxed into your seat, you notice ever so faintly above both all the windows and both the doors in the back, sort of intricate, tiny, like golden filigree scrawling of. It looks like a mix of like religious symbols, iconography, different languages. It's hard to say exactly, but you're familiar with some kind of spellcraft when you see it.
I take it that we are in secure surroundings. And she kind of gestures to the windows this way and that, and I can't do a Russian accent, but it's heavy. So, yeah.
Heavy Russian accent lady.
Oh yeah.
Who does leave? Piotr and Frank, you're still outside the car. Have you?
Piotr gives the guy a little nod. It is good of you to be armed, and he steps forward to step in. But before he does, he gives a little knock on the window, seeing if it's maybe the bulletproof sort of glass.
It feels like normal glass. It doesn't seem exceptionally thick.
And he steps in.
All right. And Frankie just kind of watches everyone just get on in, breaks open the camcorder, points it at himself and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie Barr here, the Low Bar Show."
Are you serious? You hear from the car.
As you can see, we're about to ride in style, and we're going to show everybody exactly the kind of stuff that we can get paid for to actually do this kind of job. This is going to be great. And he turns off the camcorder and gets in the car.
Right.
Misha instantly looks at him and says, "You record me, you die."
Sure, whatever.
Are you the Frankie Bar from the bar show?
The Low Bar Show, yes.
Oh,
That's
right,
me.
right. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, thank you. Good fan, I assume?
No,
No?
th-
Well, you should be.
right. What precisely is the show about? I'm sort of a filmmaker myself.
Oh, it's about literally taking all this mythological stuff that people are talking about, all this crap about vampires and werewolves and magicians and things like that, and proving none of it is real, because it isn't. Nothing of this is real. All of it is literally just trash. And I go
Looking
through.
at him.
Yeah, Piotr leans in towards Misha. Is this on that newfangled internet stuff?
I have no idea. Don't even know.
Scar, is there like a fucking cooler in the back or anything like that? Is there like anything where like drinks might be?
Looking around, it seems like underneath the table there is like the sort of center conference table. There is like kind of like a mini bar, mini fridge, slight type thing. There are bottles of water.
So when
Um,
everybody else sort of walks in, they would see that Eddie has like already opened up the mini fridge and is pulling out anything that looks like it might be alcoholic.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
get-
probably like little seltzers and nothing super alcoholic. No, like liquor. or
Nothing
anything,
hard.
but yeah, things that you can enjoy yourself with, but still.
Is there
be-
like a Zima?
Sure,
Oh,
sure.
Are there Zimas? Seriously.
Whatever you want. Yeah.
All right, I grab a Zima. Yes, perfect.
I
Is that all there is? He takes a flask out and takes a swig.
Misha's holding out her hand towards his flask like she's gonna need the booze.
As you're all
Shit.
getting settled, the door slams shut, clicks behind you, and you can see out through the tinted the windows. Mr. Webb moves around to the front and slides into the passenger seat. And you lose sight of him behind the thick, dark windows that pass for the separate the staff from the back, right?
Misha will nicely say, so not to alarm anybody, but the windows. She kind of points out the runes a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
It's
What?
about them.
What? Yeah.
They're magical. I don't know what they're for, but they're magical.
Well, the camcorder. Get where she's pointing.
Yeah, Wolfgang is immediately looking
Oh,
at Frankie.
Apparently,
You know,
this is
there's
all
space falling.
magical writing on the windows. I think someone had some fun with some filigree or something, but this would be inner city shit right here.
Roll me a wisdom check with your camcorder. So just like a wisdom check with your proficiency modifier.
Okay.
All right,
Hold on.
With a +2, so 25 or 24.
24. Okay. As you're looking over it, your camcorder kind of flickers a little bit. The screen that you're looking through, or if
Okay.
there's like the viewfinder or whatever, kind of flickers a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And as you pull it back and kind of check over it, and be like, "Oh, that was weird. What was that?" There's the last like couple of seconds of film data is corrupted.
Ah, god damn it!
Uh,
I need to get a new memory card out. So I pull a new memory card and I just put a new one in.
so
All right.
just to, Misha's going to try and do this very quietly, and right underneath Frankie's nose, she's gonna try and make the smell of like sulfur or like egg farts right underneath his nose.
Of course. Do you have Presty?
Yes, I do.
Or-
I
or
have
an
the best
illusion.
Presty.
All right. Roll me a sleight of hand check.
10.
All right.
Well, let's see if Frank is distracted enough.
Say he probably is.
My passive is 16, by the way.
Then you would see Misha kind of wave her hand through the air and a very slight muttering of an incantation that you almost can't hear over the sound of the engine going. And as she kind of sets her hand back down, you start to smell like someone just ripped a fat one, just like the worst sulfurous egg fart.
You know,
Possible.
ma'am, next time you need to cup one, can you push it out the window, please?
She just starts, she just gives him a very offended look and looks away and just like pounds Peter's fucking just flask. She's just drinking as heavily as possible.
The car, the limousine you're in, carries on for a good long while, well out of this town and deeper into the forested, mountainous northern parts of the state. You guys have a little bit of time if there's anything you'd like to talk about between each other, questions you'd
Do
like
we-
to
do
ask.
we-
or further
Do we have our
introductions.
Do we have our weapons on us, by the way?
Anything that you were carrying or would have brought with you, you have, yes. Nothing was taken
Okay.
from you. Nothing
Yeah.
was confiscated or removed.
Alright, then the rest of you would have seen probably some that he's carrying for one a big rifle with him.
Jeez.
And he had to adjust his clothing a little bit as he got into the car as well.
Wolfgang has no visible like armaments. He's literally just like a dude in a in a suit that looks like.
Yeah, Misha just has like a staff that looks like a walking staff, like a really elegant one. She's just laying it on her knees.
So, after a little bit of like just consuming any drink or food that he can find in the like in the back,
Yeah, all the little like hotel snacks and stuff that were packed away just for like to make guests comfortable, just gone. All of them.
Absolutely gone.
Yeah.
He's gonna look over at Frank and go, "So, buddy, you
Mhm.
you like don't believe in fucking fairy tales or some shit? Like, you don't believe in fucking ghosts and shit?"
There ain't nothing here to show it's been real. I've seen so many different places, and I've actually recorded this stuff to show that it is not real. I mean, actually, here, all you have to go do, and he actually pulls out a business card, hands it to you, has on there his YouTube channel of the various videos that he's done.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Frankie Bar.
Like
Such
here,
things are-
the Loch Ness Hot Mess. That is one of my best videos, but the award-winning one is the Gray Aliens Can't Jump.
Yeah,
And he-
you're. My God.
So Eddie's gonna take it and look at it and like slip into a pocket and go, "Hold on 1 second. You just stay there, buddy." And he's gonna like move over to where the painted glass is and tap on it, like to the front.
Mm-hmm.
And like, does the window roll down or anything like that?
Yeah, as you're tapping on it and you kind of like maybe gesture for it to come down, it opens to the side, and Grayson's head peeks back. You do see in the driver's seat of the car as well a slightly shorter, equally fit woman with a darker skin, freckles, and she doesn't seem to be paying you any attention.
And he sort of nods his head and goes, "You know, we got a Foggy back here, right?"
Oh, I can assure you that is not the case.
You sure of that, man?
Why
Yes.
did this guy get invited?
Pretending to understand the lady's intricate requests is not my business, but I'm sure she has a reason.
All right, fuck it. It's not the first time I got paid to watch somebody die. And he just like leans back into his seat and just gets comfortable.
Nor mine. And the window starts closing.
He looks at the others now and like Wolfgang and what was his name? Edwin. He looks at them and says, "Why were you two invited? What do you bring to the table?" I find myself curious.
Well, I am a doctor. Medical doctor, actually. So, presumably, I'm going to be patching up. He does like a vague gesture in Frankie's direction.
I assume that you would be able to take care of people like different and special.
It depends on your definition of take care of.
She just starts laughing again.
Although I do have lots of drugs. So, he shrugs.
That explains a lot of it right there. Frankie just says out loud, and he goes back to looking out the window with the camcorder.
Yes, would you like some OxyContin?
I don't need it.
Why are you
Anybody?
looking at- She holds out a hand and doesn't move.
Du bist Deutscher. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
I have a familiarity with that language myself.
Misha nods her head, as do I.
Yes, well, not much need to speak it anymore. But
She switches into German. She's not even in front of this guy, and she points over to Frankie.
well, maybe some reasons.
I'm not. Yeah, he also speaks in German. I'm not particularly fond of being filmed.
Neither am I.
That camera will not live long if he continues.
Have a
Frankie,
little bit of
roll me an
fun.
insight check.
Who?
Frankie.
Okay.
Let's see if
All right.
this is a
You're really focused on the passing
Yeah.
trees and the path leading up. You're a little oblivious to
Dude, I'm
the-
excited not being, in New York. This
Yeah.
is cool. It wasn't just the Greyhound ride that did it, but I'm here somewhere else other than New York.
It's travel. It was paid
It
It is
travel.
paid travel, exactly.
Yeah, I've been there.
You, Edwin, you seem like an athletic sort.
Eddie sort of looks over and sort of nods his head and goes,
Oh, my food's here. I'll be right back.
All right.
Keep talking. Keep role playing.
I mean, yeah, sure, you know, you go where the money is, you get paid to do a couple things, you leave, you know. And I ain't gonna say no to a fucking gig, you know.
I understand exactly what you mean.
I understand as well. I've taken the odd job myself.
He sort of looks around and goes, odd job. Listen, man, this is the most professional I've been ever. I don't try to get mixed up with all this fucking high quality shit. I ain't nobody. Best it stays that way, anyways.
Are you sure?
Eddie sort of like smiles at you and goes, "Sure am, miss."
That-
She
that-
seems-
That statement from before that indicates that you've seen some things.
Mm.
He shakes his head and goes, "I'm just paid to beat shit up. Doesn't really matter what it is now, does it?"
Does anybody
Interesting.
mind if I smoke?
No,
Oh,
go
shit.
ahead.
Go ahead.
He looks.
Oh, man, go ahead.
Shit, man, can I fucking bum one of those? And like holds out a hand.
Do you have any cigars?
He'll pass one over. No cigars, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie will immediately just take one of the cigarettes and just fucking drag it as fast as possible. And it's literally like he does
Jesus Christ.
one breath. It's just
Like a
whole-
Tom and Jerry. You just suck the whole thing in.
It's literally he finishes it before you light your own cigarette.
I'm back.
Jesus Christ. Just take it easy with those, will you?
Just,
Wow, man. Practice much?
You're going to have to lend me your lungs.
When you're done with them.
And he
Why?
just
Why?
blows out smoke through his nose and goes, sorry, what was that?
You really needed that smoke, didn't you?
you guys take it to the excess.
He shrugs his shoulders and goes, you never know when you're gonna get your next one, and like just flicks the bud out the window.
Fun enough, the windows don't roll down.
Like, cigarette against it.
There is an ashtray at the center of the table if you'd like to put it in an ashtray.
Waiting for him to throw it at the window and just
Like-
like
Instead of like using the ashtray, he puts it into a half-finished like can of like seltzer or whatever, and then sets it off to the side.
Oh god.
So,
It sizzles.
Yeah, it sizzles a little bit, and he just sort of sets it off to the side.
so
Oh,
Frank,
man.
so Frankie, why did you, with your, what was it, the low bar show? Why did you get invited? You think?
Probably so I could capture all this on film to show off whatever is being done and to show people that, look, there's really nothing to worry about when it comes to weird shit. That's the only reason I'd be here.
Okay.
As you're talking about weird shit, you guys are getting closer to the manor now, and anyone who's looking out the windows can see as you turn down this side road, there's a little sort of like gated community style like guard station with a big metal gate, and standing around it are 6 or 7 individuals wearing heavy, sort of like parkas, black and white parkas, wielding, carrying assault rifles that are hanging down in front of them, wearing sort of modern military armor. And they
Shit,
sort
we're
of
about to
segment
get jacked,
stop you,
man.
and then one of them waves
They're about to
forward,
whack
and
us. They're
the
going to
gate
put bullets
starts
behind our ears.
the gate starts to open, and you're brought further in.
Fucking
And
do
you
it.
see, well, a large canine, sort of this big black hound, is held on a leash by one of them, that stops to sniff the side of the car. One of them passes underneath it with a mirror. General, making sure there's nothing additional hanging onto it besides the official guests before it is brought further in.
Did those guys look like PMCs?
Yeah, I would say with your experience, they did look like hired contractors of some kind. Actually, yeah, Piotr and Piotr, Misha, and Wolfgang. Roll me. Oh, just roll me perception checks.
19.
Schwingus.
Wait, where did
24.
I... Hold on. My
Uh,
character sheet is gone.
Okay.
I think actually 25 because of one of my abilities. Let me see real quick.
There we go.
once you're above a 23, you're fine.
Okay, well,
Like,
but
okay.
24.
Why are you as Resh right now?
Because I had to refresh. There we go.
As you guys are looking out, you three in particular, are more familiar with firearms and their use against certain supernatural entities. And you do see, and certain more armaments and stuff. Sitting in their plate carriers, you see what look like vials of holy water. And in the open chamber of some of the guns, you can see what look to be like silver bullets, or perhaps some kind of special alloy. They don't look like normal bullets in the weapons.
Misha seems entirely unfazed. She's not even looking at them. It just seems very typical to her.
And you would see Wolfgang and Piotr. You would see that one of the men, the only one who's not wearing a helmet, he's wearing kind of like a baseball cap and a smaller jacket. Seems like he's not stationed out there so much as he is at there at the moment. Has what looks like a big machete or some kind of bladed weapon along the back of his belt, which is a little out of place as well. There's a sort of like gold chain wrapped around the handle. He's the one that gives the final wave through.
they're serious about their security.
Yes.
Right to be if they're asking for people like us.
Seems they're equipped with holy water ammunition from the looks of it.
Just mouth to the camera. Holy water.
See Misha lean
This is a
forward
great
and
idea.
shake the bridge of her nose. She's just like,
Al, thank you.
the fucking skeptic. Wonderful.
Yeah, Piotr doesn't trust this actually. He's gonna give Frankie another look over. Is he really as useless as he seems?
I don't know, Frankie. roll an insight check, Piotr. I don't know, Frankie. Does a 12 give any? Do you think he's as useless?
I mean, does
I don't know.
as I did say, he does ooze a lot of charisma. There's something about him that makes him likable, even if he's rubbing you the wrong way. There is just something about him, though, about that.
Very well.
Just something about him. Even if he's like grating on your last nerve, you're just like, you know what? I hate you, but you're cool, man. All right.
You're a funny one,
Mr.
Frankie.
Crunch.
I hate it.
Close. I've been called that before, you know.
Mr. Frankie Bar.
Of course, I smelled like one too at some point, but I did shower before I got on the bus, so we're good today.
I'm glad you did.
I hope you all packed toiletries, by the way. I did.
Do we need toilet paper? I didn't bring any.
Not Well, maybe. Who knows?
I brought my usual.
I
Walked
actually-
in, it's like, I got a comb.
I start
brought
digging
my
through. I literally
cologne.
start digging through my bag. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot my shovel. Damn it.
Before we get out or anything like that, Misha's gonna try and intimidate Frankie.
How?
What is she gonna do to try and intimidate
Yeah.
Frankie?
Yeah, what? You tried to make him think that you farted, and he's like completely called it back on you. Do you really think he's gonna be intimidated by someone who cupped a fart in his face?
Just wait. She's gonna use Presty to make her eyes glue as they're exiting.
Okay.
Just look very odd, very different. And she's like, before you show that video to anybody else, when all is said and done, remember, I've got your scent, and I know where you will live.
It's not hard to find me. I'm on the internet.
Misha,
Before long.
And
Misha, play nice.
No. She gives Peter a very dirty look.
as she says that, Eddie like leans in to Frankie and just like nudges him and goes, "And you got her scent too, don't you?" And just
Oh
like
yeah, man.
immediately.
Dude, it was horrible. Last time I smelled something like that, it was like that dirty hobo that was on the bus tying grass with her teeth.
I know her.
She's going to be an asshole on the way out. She's gonna cast Mind Sliver on Frankie.
Oh, all right.
Ooh.
She's not happy.
Give me 1 second. Feel.
Can Piotr try and grab her hand to stop her from doing this?
I don't know. You?
Roll a Misha roll a sleight of hand check and Piotr roll a perception check.
Oh.
Yeah, you witness you see her start to move her hand, and you can hear the bits of incantations starting. If you would like to just try and grab hold of her hand to stop her, you can.
He will.
I will have a grapple check. So athletics versus her athletics or acrobatics.
Go ahead, do what you're gonna do.
Everyone else is fighting because of Frankie. And Frankie hasn't done it.
It would be an athletics check from you, Piotr.
Oh.
It's always athletics to initiate. Close. You're able to grab her wrist, but it's too late. She's already pulled the incantation through. There's a sort of flicker of the arcane around her fingertips. What does Mind Sliver do again?
It's
I know it hurts him a little bit.
yeah, it's not very. It's a cantrip.
One creature you designate. Okay, roll an intelligence saving throw, Frankie.
Oh no.
Yeah, let's see how intelligent you are.
Oh no. Roll
The
2d.
13. Oh, hold on. Wait.
Oh.
Wait. Remember, Frankie has shit.
True, I forget that Frankie isn't entirely. He's just the commoner.
You're rolling to GM only, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, I see.
No, you said because Frankie has shit. I just want to make sure, because remember I made this
Is
guy
it
a while
the-
ago. I have to read over a
the,
couple things. I'm sorry.
Pocket watch.
Thinking either the pocket watch or the feet. One of the two.
Let's see which of those. You could do either. I think
Yeah.
the one just automatically works. It should just.
I just forget what the pocket watch does. That's what I need to find.
It says it here. Nope, that's the wrong one. It'll be in our chats, in our messages.
Yeah, hold on. Let me find it real quick. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
You're fine. It's just gonna get progressively worse. She gets angry very easy. I'm
I pinned it
trying.
in our.
Oh. No, it's.
Yeah.
It should
Piotr
automatically give you the +1, so I don't think that's.
Piotr tried to grab her hand and started to say don't, but you already finished casting.
Yeah. She gives Peter a dirty look.
Yeah, I found. Okay.
You would have to use the feet if you want. You just want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the feet then. Hold on a second.
Just roll the save again, probably.
Yep. No.
No,
That's all right.
Roll 2d6, Misha.
2d6.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
I am so
Uh,
sorry.
That's
Frankie,
okay.
as you're kind of following them out of the car, as you've been pulled up to the front of the building, which is a massive two-story, maybe 2.5-story. There's like an attic space up top building with a frozen fountain out front, covered in snow and ice. The windows are frosted over. Several more of those guards, those men in armor and with their weapons, are walking around on patrols. Some of them have dogs. You can hear some barking in the background.
Yeah.
Thanks for the ambiance. Are all moving about, but they don't seem to be paying any of you attention. They seem to be looking out away from the manor. And as you're getting out, Frankie, there's just this lancing headache. Just like from one ear to ear, just like a bolt of lightning goes through your head and kind of stuns you for half a second.
It's cold out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like...
I blame it on the cold air. I'm not used to the fresh air in the country.
Son of a bitch.
yeah, easy enough. It is, it is
Damn.
like,
Brain freeze. Done.
yeah, 15 degrees outside, 15 Fahrenheit. It is cold. Of course.
Like, Misha just bristles and fucking fixes her shirt a little bit. She's walking a little bit faster. Like, she's got
Misha-
a kick stepper.
Misha, you're pulled back briefly, and he gives you a look.
She gives him a look right back.
Keep professional.
As you guys are having this conversation, two professionals, the butlers of Lady Belgrade, have gotten out of the car and moved up to the front door and are waiting on either side of it. Just sort of watching you all as you're getting out of the car. The woman is kind of giving the butler who spoke to you before, Grayson, these like sidelong looks, like no insight check required. She doesn't think this is a good idea.
Misha just starts speaking in Russian to Peter. I don't know if anybody can understand it. If so, I'll say what it is, but not.
Does anyone speak Russian?
Yeah, Edwin does.
Alright. I will send you a tell. Give me a second.
All right. Send me as well, because Grayson speaks Russian.
Uh-huh.
But as you are all getting out, there's a brief pause, kind of wait for you all to get on your feet, and then the car starts to drive off seemingly on its own. Without anyone behind the wheel.
I go ahead and once I get out of the car and everything like that, and I get the headache, I go ahead and dig into one of the pouches in my fishing vest and pull out like one of those travel size things of Advil, take a couple pills and put it back in my pocket.
All right, good to know.
You're certain you don't want any OxyContin?
No, man. Why would I want to do that? Hey, have you not seen the report on what that stuff does to people? Hold on, here. He digs in another pocket, pulls out another card. Not one of his videos channels, but someone else's.
Can we just get the job done?
Good.
She finally switches back to English to let us go.
Wolfgang does take the card. He's like, oh, I'll have to do some more research.
You might be right about these ones, Violetta. All right. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Belgrade is excited to have your company this afternoon for lunch. Please, this way. I hope no one is allergic to anything. He starts leading you inside.
I doubt that you would have anything that I like to eat anyways.
Piotr is going to do his special sweep ability as he follows.
Oh, what does that one do again?
Which is checking out all
Oh, big man.
all potential invisible enemies or cameras, etc. Let me.
Post it for me, because I'm not gonna.
You know how to size up an area, get the lay of land in a single sweep of the eyes, picking up details that others would miss. You automatically learn the location of any obvious enemies, alarms, and surveillance devices, traps, escape routes, and any expensive objects that are within 30 feet of you.
Well.
Additionally, you learn if there are any hidden or invisible creatures within that radius, but not their location.
Can you just post that and send it to me so I can read? There's a lot of stuff that's telling you, and I just completely
Lots and lots and lots and lots.
Yeah, you learn everything, but I don't even know what exactly of everything you learn. You just hit the chat. You can, if you set yourself a GM role and then post it by hitting the little chat box, I'll just be the one that sees it in the
Oh yeah.
side. least I should be. Yeah. You know the size of an area.
Basically, he scopes the place out.
All right. Yeah. The alarms, surveillance devices, traps, escape routes, and any expensive objects within 3. Cool. As you're walking through, not even within just 30 feet of you, there's a lot of those soldiers around. I guess they're potential enemies. None of them seem phased by your presence. They're just going about their work. There's one right on the inside of the doors on both this side and the northern end of the of the building. Expensive stuff? Name it. The floorboards in this mansion are probably worth more than most people's apartments.
He's less concerned about the expensive stuff.
Yeah,
It's
but just
more the
like, you know, there's like priceless art vases that are like from the Ming Dynasty on like normal coffee tables, and paint like original Van Goghs on the walls. Like this place is, you know, it could be a museum.
he makes comments about them as he passes by. Maybe that's from the blah 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 blah.
Yeah, just old stuff. There's even like first printings of like propaganda posters from like World War II Germany and Soviet Russia and stuff, and like in some of these like study rooms that you pass, these like smaller side ones.
He definitely stops and takes a look at those for a moment before he goes to.
Yeah. So of note, Eddie is doing that thing where like someone who's obviously never been in like a very rich environment is just sort of like stunned by just how much like opulence there is around them. He's just like looking around at literally everything, and you see him like doing the math poorly in his head and just sort of like just being in awe of everything and just being like, oh shit, I might actually be up above my head here.
Yeah, fair enough.
Wolfgang joins Piotr at the World War II posters and clicks his tongue. He's like, it's a good old days, huh?
God damn it.
He
pats him on the shoulder, keeps walking.
He takes a swig of his flask again. Certainly was.
As you guys are entering as well, with Grayson leading the front, Violetta, the woman who you heard him talk to, it kind of moves behind you, working to like usher you in the same direction so no one wanders off into the mansion. And if anyone starts going,
like Frankie Bar, he's
oh, dude, I've got my camera out. Like, so, folks, this is where I've been brought to tonight. Look at this place. Yeah, this door here is probably worth more than my whole apartment. This right here, definitely not IKEA.
No, it's not IKEA. This way, Mr. Barr.
Oh, okay. I mean, I follow along to wherever they direct me, but I'm.
Yeah, I imagine a little bit of wandering, right?
Yeah, a little bit of wandering, but I stay, where they're directing me at least. So
yeah, they're trying to just sweep you around the left side up there. Yeah. Other things that you would notice though, Peter, with your thing, alarms, surveillance devices. There are cameras. They're marked on the map, but there are others as well throughout, watching exits and main rooms and stuff like that. It's sort of weird. The manor is this mix of ancient history, not so ancient history, and like super modern technology. The cameras are like state of the art. The men walking around are like in the best modern military gear possible, and yet there are antique Victorian era couches and again, like Ming Dynasty vases and stuff like that all over. And then escape routes. I mean, windows, doors. You can see the map.
Yeah.
You guys are all brought forward. The butler leads you towards a dining room area. There's a long wooden table, several seats around it. And at the end of the table is a woman in a gray pantsuit, kind of lounging back in a chair with this confident smile on her face. And beside her, another woman in an equally well-dressed woman, we'll say, with an eye patch over one of her eyes. Is sort of standing, and they're having a quiet, whispered conversation as you enter. Let me see, I can get you the handouts for them real quick. Nope, not this one. The woman with the eye patch. And where is Mrs. Bell? There he is. Boop.
Also,
go.
just so you're aware, Scar, I think if you click on their tokens and hit Control Z or Control
I
Shift
think
and Z,
Shift Z.
yeah,
Yeah, I can do that. But
yeah,
just
you
the
pull
full
it up.
piece shows a little bit more. I don't know.
True.
But they are sitting there waiting for you as you enter. And they sort of hush their conversation as they see Grayson sort of ushering you into the side. He waits by the door. There's this brief pause as she's looking over all of you and is about to it looks like she's about to greet you or something, and then just kind of starts chuckling to herself. Just this little chortle at the sight of the lot of you. Well, I see that you're quite the eclectic bunch.
We could say the same of your security. I've seen a rather interesting sorts among them. He also briefly looks at the one by your side.
Looks kind just a woman. She doesn't seem to have any weapons on her or anything like that. Nothing imprinting on her from under her clothes. Nothing hidden. The only thing kind of standing out is the eye patch. But the woman does gesture towards the seat around you. Please join me for lunch. Help yourselves to any seat you'd like.
Yeah, free grub.
Some of the best, if I do say so myself. Violetta is a wonderful chef.
Michelle sit down. Reluctantly.
All your tokens are so different sizes.
Yeah.
Gonna drive me crazy.
So,
Uh,
yeah.
Piotr
Here's
sits down with decent etiquette, despite the fact that he's not dressed well, at least.
Eddie's gonna sit down and do that thing where he sits down and then feels how good the chair feels and bounces in a little bit and looks around and just sort of takes it in for a moment and leans back on two the back legs of the chair and just sort of rocks a little bit and goes, huh. And just taking everything in slowly.
It would not do to damage the chairs.
No,
The
those
one
are
contracting you.
hand carved in what Middle Eastern country was it? The silks on the seat. Oh, don't worry about it. It's a pleasure to have all of you here. I am Gabriella Belgrade.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Belgrade.
Seeing you all face to face sure beats phone calls. That's for certain. You don't get half the measure of a person when you can only hear their voice.
I fully agree with that statement. Certainly, you have an interesting collection here as well. It speaks of your character.
If only it did. No, most of this was my father's.
Indeed.
But enough of that. I'm sure a lot of you are curious exactly why I've brought you here. Such a strange and eclectic group that you are.
Eddie's gonna look at her, finally registering that somebody's talking. He's not been paying attention for the entirety of that conversation, and just goes, "Nah, you came here. You brought me here to punch shit, right?"
well, yes. There is some of that involved. Yes.
What is the true reason that we are here?
Well, in all honesty, he kind of hit the nail right on the head, as most hammers would.
He just gives a big
Wait.
grin at that.
You brought him here as a carpenter? I'm
I
kidding.
brought him here
I'm
as
kidding. I'm kidding.
A problem solver.
Excellent.
I am, well, to say I am wealthy and have my fingers in many pies would be an understatement. I'm sure that the house, the home that you're in, shows plenty of that, but some of my interests are well wrapped up in the supernatural.
I could
in
tell
the
as much
circles.
from your PMCs.
Yes, they are Well, mine. Quite literally, I run the entire company. We work alongside several private industries and government agencies supplying men, firepower, and the like. But even we are limited in the scope of what we are able to do, and there are dark tides coming in.
Peach seems very interested now. She's listening to everything.
I have brought you in all for your very unique abilities. Be you a man of medicine, a man of your fists, skeptics, investigators, thieves, assassins. You represent a group of individuals who know your way around the world and who are not afraid to get your hands a little bit dirty, or in the case of some of you, strive to prove things wrong. And she kind of gives Frankie a knowing look with that.
He also
I smile with a nod.
Yes. I am well aware of your shows and podcasts, Mr. Barr.
Oh, thank you. Glad to see another fan.
Hmm.
Uh,
She doesn't correct
Nothing
you,
will
but there's
ever
definitely
change his
like
mind.
mhm.
Nothing will ever change his mind.
you are aware he is filming everything.
No. Eating. He doesn't. He's. This isn't Instagram. He doesn't film eating.
All right, yes, the lunch table is off limits.
Yes. Yeah. Lunch table, dinner table, food is off limits. That's for the little TikTokers to do. This man's
that's-
serious about his work.
This is a serious
too,
podcaster. He's a serious man.
it's too low bar for the low bar show.
Food is too low bar.
Oh God.
By the way, the second that like he looks out and sees that there's food on the table,
Yeah, there would be just, I mean, caviar and just whatever. Insert stupidly expensive, opulent bullshit food here.
yeah, he's just gonna like, assuming there's like a plate of like meat or whatever, he's just gonna grab as much of that as he can and just begin like eating it as they're talking,
It's like
and just not saying-
$1,000 worth of like gold dusted Iberico ham, and he's just shoveling it down his throat.
Yeah, like truly.
Misha,
Wonderful.
before he can get to the steak tartare, has kind of pulled it over to her, and she's just got it in front of her. Shows no interest in any other food.
Okay.
Piotr seems to be
As
more
it is like a
focused on the
message.
others.
Yeah, but yes, and I'm sure the rest of you are curious why we have someone like Mr. Barr here. To be honest, I think a skeptical mind, one who does not believe the first thing it sees before it, can be of use in exactly what is going on right now. And I, from what you've seen, Mr. Barr, know that you probably think we are lunatics for having this conversation, but I do ask that you humor me.
You're paying me. I'm here to be paid to do what I do.
And
I have
will
no
get
problem with that.
to the
You all wanna smoke some hashish, think that you're all cool with that OxyContin, that's fine. I'm all good with that. I'm just gonna film it.
Wonderful. I will have some stipulations about your filming when we get to the contract phase, mostly reviewing before you upload.
Oh, of course.
Misha
course.
looks very satisfied with this. Smug, even.
Don't think you're getting out of it.
She doesn't care.
Uh,
She actually looks at him and just says, "What? I have no idea what you're talking about." Suddenly, very charming. You can see where she was a bitch before. Suddenly, she's just like giving him the doe eyes and just starts eating.
So, on to the matter at hand. Some of you are familiar with other realms, right? The places filled with creatures not of our world. Some would call them hell, some would call them the abyss, whatever you wish to describe it as, a place of corruption and defilement, of demons and devils. Correct? Most of you, at least, are familiar with the subject to some degree, I'm sure.
Nod.
As of late, and I do mean within the last couple of months, there have been a chain of events taking place across the world. A chain of a catastrophic collapse in the barrier between these two worlds, ours and we'll call it hell for simplicity's sake. One of which happened here, in this state, not necessarily here at the manor, but close enough. And we have been investigating it to see what exactly has happened. I sent a few task forces of my men to find where it had happened, and well, not many returned, and those who did spoke of terrors beyond most people's understanding. There has been a global effort since this breakdown to keep it under wraps, keep it controlled, and create some way of dealing with it. There are professional hunters sent out. There are government organizations, private companies like my own, all over the world working to try and stem the tide, as it were. I am in need of people capable of things such as the lot of you, be it the arcane or professional medical knowledge or the ability to, well, quite impressively, punch a vampire unconscious.
You did
This-
what?
The second that she says that, he just goes, so you saw that, eh? And just like big fucking grin.
Yes.
Piotr leans forward, it seems.
Uh,
Really?
yes, it was quite impressive, really. But again, all of you are quite impressive in your own way. And so, long story short, we believe that something came through the gateway here and has been trying to strengthen it, to make it more capable of bringing in larger things, or perhaps more entities, demons, devils, and fiends and the like. And my own personal guard are not equipped to take care of it, at least not on sovereign soil. We cannot. Well, we are not licensed to drive tanks on American soil, and it seems like it would require that or more skilled professionals.
You require a delicate knife to carve it out, rather than the brute approach.
Yes, well, I think it is more efficient to crush the cockroach instead of destroying the house it's in. Speaking of cockroaches, that brings me to what little we were able to understand about it. This, here with me, this is Miss Liv Devereaux. She is a professional arcanist, a warlock, specializing in the occult and the infernal. Gives a polite bow of her head in turn.
Any recognition from Misha?
Roll a history check. Unfortunately, no.
Have I ever heard of this woman before? Because, debunking people.
True. Yeah. Roll a history check. We'll see.
So,
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
Misha does
she's-
seem more interested now that she knows the person's that way.
Liv gives a smile and goes, yes, I am a professional in dealing with fiends and the like. I have made many deals and dealings with them in the past. The one, from the information I was able to gather through my own sources on the other side, as well as the few men who made it out of the initial conflict alive, lead me to believe that this is not a random beast that has crawled its way through. It is a lowly creature among its kin, but it is the old legends and old scripture and such that we were able to compile of it names it Akishigal. It's some sort of calling it a lord would be too polite, but it is something akin to royalty or nobility at the very least among their hierarchy. It rules over a domain of filth and corruption. and we believe the reason it's crawled through here is probably because of the city to our south. The all famous Big Apple. Disgusting. Anyway, we think we are close enough to a rip that it was able to get through. We, and when I do say we, I do mean myself, Miss Belgrade, and our associates, believe that this catastrophic failure in the barrier between our worlds is not an accident. It's not a natural occurrence, which comes to some of your abilities that I hope for you to use when you get there to find anything you can of what may have brought this upon us.
You suspect a larger entity is at play, or perhaps a disturbance of some kind?
It's hard to say. It could be an organization. There are plenty of cults and religious organizations that would look to bring upon something like the Rapture, which, well, truth or not, could be catastrophic for all of us if it was anything like it is ever described in any religious mythology or whatever else. It's hard to
Is
say.
there a medical facility within the building? Someplace I could set up my things?
We could have one constructed for you rather quickly.
We
We
should
have
talk.
we have the facilities in storage. We have not needed a hospital or a triage center here in the manor, but we do have the facilities for it, or the ability to create it, rather.
Well, if there is no complaints with it, I would love to study these creatures too. Drag one of the mangled corpses back.
Yes, I'm actually was going to mention that myself. This Akishigal is a powerful creature, even if it is a weak among its peers. It is still stronger than the average imp or quasit or whatever that may come through on occasion. So yes, I too would like to examine its body. Should you end it, probably from a less scientific standpoint and more from the arcane benefits of its unique physiology. But we could work together.
Certainly. There is a beautiful pairing of magic and medicine that is yet to be had, I think.
I agree. I do. I'm also quite capable of. Well, I specialize in turning demonic flesh into weaponry of a kind that is particularly suited for ending more demonic flesh.
Interesting. That might be of use, yes. Speaking of such things, though, I could not help but notice that your PMCs are equipped for this sort of thing as well. Their ammo, in particular, would be useful for such a task as you are seemingly proposing.
I could see. This is Belgrade speaking up now. The warlock has taken a step back and is kind of quickly pulled out a sketch pad and is writing down several notes in it and kind of looking over Wolfgang and then looking back at the notes and writing again. But Gabrielle, the one who's brought you all here, the benefactor, kind of smiles at the question about ammunition and such and goes, "Yes, we could quite. I could try and provide you with ammunition of a kind, though most of ours is mass produced for the particular firearms that our company uses."
I'm well talented with any sort of weapon, so that should not be a problem, as long as you are willing to part with one as well.
Misha looks at the warlock, and it would fall in line with my abilities to be able to put an end to things. are menacing us.
Does that name mentioned say anything to you, Misha? That sort of knowledge is more your expertise as well.
Her ask for clarification ends really quickly. Does any of this ring a bell for her?
Anyone who's proficient in religion or arcana can roll that.
Religion or arcana, you say?
Nope, that's my second natural one.
Nope, he's not.
Misha, the intricacies of the underworld politics and lord structure is a little out of your personal purview.
No. But did Misha's inquiry into if she was allowed to kill these enemies get any response from the warlock?
The warlock does look up at you for a moment. And there's a little squint, and then you watch as she moves a hand over the eye patch and sort of squints at you again before moving it away. You should be fine. Yes, though there is the threat that they might be controlling mundanes.
Very well.
In which case, I would recommend caution. But you should be fine against them individually. We do believe most are insectoid in appearance. So if you see giant moving bugs,
Very well. Keep away from the more bodily abled ones.
yes. Now we get down to let's just get down to the contract very quickly. We can sort out equipment afterwards. She's gonna give a gesture towards Piotr. I am willing to offer each of you, at a starting rate, $100,000.
The second 100 is said, Edwin like swallows his food and begins choking, and then 1,000 is said, and he falls off of his chair.
The warlock Liv will immediately move over to your side and kind of start like checking around your throat and stuff to make sure you're not choking anymore. And then he'll push on your chest. And as she does, there's this like sudden like warmth that moves from her hand, and any food that was stuck or lodged immediately starts to move freely again. She doesn't help you up though. She just kind of stands over you, looking down at you.
Are these funds interchangeable for possible favors?
This is the down payment, I should say. This is to put you on retainer for me. Should you remove this Akishigal, well, I will say name your price depending on the challenge that it puts up against you. Money is quite literally not an item. You ask for $2 million each, $2 million each. You ask for a private jet, it's yours.
There's a single moment that passes before Edwin like gets up off of his feet, like off his back, pats himself off, and like gets down on a knee beside her and goes, "I would follow you to the ends of the earth."
She gives this sort of imperious smile down at you and like holds a hand out towards your face, like the classic like kiss the ring gesture.
Oh, Jesus
No,
Christ.
not even like a moment passes before he does it. Like, this is a dog that has not been fed in months type thing. Like, this is the best that he's had been able to live for literal years of his life. So he just like immediately, like no shame whatsoever, leans in, kisses her hand, and like looks at her dead in the eyes, and it's just like, whatever you need, whoever it is, done.
Welcome back, TJ. She just offered you $100,000 to basically hire you before you do any work, and then offered basically name your price depending on how challenging the removal of this demon is. And Edwin is kissing the ring.
Jesus Christ. Misha just reaches over and takes Peter's hand. Just sits there.
100 is
I think one of my
Well, I
hound
think
find,
the dogs outside have seen some. No, should you send another guard out?
Jesus Christ.
they definitely someone saw something.
See?
Jesus, is that Captain?
Dogs know when something's coming up. They also know it's people. Done. It's the low bar of things. Done.
There's a long The other side of the table.
Yeah, Piotr waits for a little while before that's over and then says, 100 is acceptable for me as a down payment. My services do not usually come cheap, but equip me well and offer good transportation with, if such is required, and I'm your man to excise such a demon.
The funds are available, but I may ask a favor when it comes to the end of payment. Or
Very well.
advice.
I am hoping that should all of this go well, I can keep the lot of you. I'm looking for capable individuals to add to my company, and having a team of investigators, problem solvers, doctors, and the like could be very useful.
I like how there's no real description of Frankie.
Investigators?
The like.
If you wish to keep me as a permanent addition afterwards, know that there are ties that I have as well that I must keep in mind. I cannot accept all contracts that you may give,
I would
depending on
merely
what they
ask
are.
that you are available to
That I am.
consult, if nothing else. Very well. In that case, contract business. The price has been named. There are a few stipulations. One, you are not allowed to mention my name or exactly what you see within the manor outside of it without my express permission.
Piotr looks at Mr. Barr here.
She follows your gaze towards him. Mr. Barr, I realize that you will be recording for your internet television show. In that case, I would ask that I am allowed to review all footage you attain while working for me, and am allowed to personally have it edited to remove any mention of my name and anything that I deem too sensitive.
So you're trying to hide anything that'll make any of this look false?
Not necessarily, no. I am bringing you here because I think your skeptical opinion on things could offer some clarity in moments that are certainly needed. Just because things exist, just because demons are coming over, doesn't mean it is always going to be that. And skepticism can be a useful tool.
Okay, I can do that.
I merely want to make sure that you do not give away certain private information, as well as certain things that I would deem too risky for the public to see. I'm sure you understand.
Define risky for me real quick.
Oh, things that would get you demonetized on YouTube, and probably.
Yeah, no, can't cut the cash flow there. That's
Yeah.
fine. Understand.
Fine.
NDAs, we got it.
Yes.
TJ, Piotr is also looking at, has also been looking at, or giving glances towards Wolfgang. How did he react to the money situation?
It didn't seem to phase him really. He's just kind of been sitting there with his hands in his lap the whole time.
Very well. Are there any particular desires from any of you?
What was that?
Are there any particular desires, stipulations, things you wish added to a contract, assurances, or the like?
Assurances, well, there are a number, but they are better put to paper. As you know, I am deeply tied to certain organizations and states that I cannot harm in any sort of way. If that is a future desire.
I promise you that I have no intention of playing against global factors.
That is good then.
Can we assume that there will be secrecy of the utmost regard and things that may happen?
I can promise you that there will be.
such similar secrecy kept for our identities as well.
You can promise as much,
Good.
which does mean that there may have to be some further review of anything that is filmed during this expedition.
What happens to potential bodies following their untimely expiration?
They absolutely refuse to be carved up, and I would not stand for my mate to do the same.
Yes, I would recommend that those of you here be treated with proper dignity and respect in death. Our enemies, the things that you are being sent after, do with as you please. The only one that I want, specifically, as much as Liv has said, is I would like this Akishigal to be brought back in as many pieces, as much of it brought back as possible, for study, research, perhaps implementation of pieces of it. Something I believe that you are quite familiar with, Mr. Fink.
Very well. I shall get you a list of the things I would need in my laboratory. I'm sure you should have access to them all. And in the meantime, well, I think that's all. At
Very
least for me.
I would like to know what sort of services you can provide if future contracts were to be in different countries as well.
I can provide transportation. I can provide the discreet delivery of weapons and supplies in nations that are less armed than the one we currently find ourselves in. I could.
And what protections do you offer in case of
Well,
clandestine?
in case you are discovered working for me on foreign soil by local authorities, you've never met me. I've never met you, and unfortunately, I cannot do anything to help you.
Noted.
Good to know.
Don't get caught, or if you do, find your own way out. I can provide you with false information, but I cannot arrive to rescue you from an imprisonment.
I understand. That is acceptable.
Really Mission Impossible.
Furthermore, I would have to know, Miss Belgrade, I do not know much of you.
Hmm.
Is your company, in one way or another, should I be aware of any enemies you have? As this may affect me as well if I affiliate with you.
Vigilant, my company, has no direct adversaries, at least not in terms of organizations or companies of the like. We are hired by others to fight on their behalf at times, but everything we do is very businesslike. Nothing personal. You tend to make very few enemies when you keep things separate as that.
Very well.
We do have disagreements with some of the other individuals, the Global Occult Council and the like, but nothing that would be enemies. Those are more personal between myself and them.
Yes, minor political disagreements as usual, I take it.
I've been around for a very long time, and when you've been around as long as I have, you make lots of friends and just as many people that would rather see you not be as successful as you are.
I am familiar with such, yes. Very well. Those were the main notes. I may have more, but for now, let us focus on the task at hand then.
So while everybody's talking, Eddie's gonna pull out the card that Frank gave him, and he's just gonna look around and like find a pen or whatever and start writing on it. And then he just
Easy
like
enough to get a pen,
yeah,
right?
he just slides it over to her, and goes, "There's a kid at that address. If I don't come back, you give him a free ride wherever he needs to go. You do that like rich people shit and make sure he gets into a good college. Understood? Like just like full stop."
It's a look
Yes.
of hurt that crosses Misha's face at the mention of a child.
Yes, I'm quite aware, and I will make sure that should you not return, he is taken care of.
And he nods his head and just like sits back down and like sits properly this time and just like leans in.
If you would like, should this go well and you return, Edwin, or Mr. Wright, whichever you prefer.
Eddie.
Very well, Eddie. Should all this go well and you do find yourself enjoying the work and finding yourself successful at it, I would be happy to offer you a permanent stay at this residence for you and for him, along with other benefits, of course.
And he just sort of nods his head, just like doesn't just immediately stops talking.
Mm-hmm. Just it is an offer. I understand. Well, in that case, there's a little wave of her hand, and a few moments later, Grayson, the butler, comes in with 5 copies of a contract that basically agrees to everything that you've already agreed to. No hidden legal bullshit. She seems pretty above board, not trying to entrap you or anything.
He gives it to Misha anyway to see if there's any
There is
magical fuckery.
magic
Yeah.
on it.
Might give
not-
us a once-over.
Yeah, it's not hidden. You're proficient in Arcana. Just being proficient is enough to see. It's a pretty simple enchantment. It just it makes sure whoever's signing it is actually the person signing it, so you can't forge a signature. That's all.
Okay.
It's very, very simple, sort of, don't lie on the document magic.
Yeah, she hands it back over. Simple.
All right.
Wolfgang will read it quickly and then sign his.
Okay. Any of you who might have a smartphone or whatever that has is tied to a bank account will, a few seconds after signing it, get a notification of a deposit.
Okay.
Misha
Yeah.
does, and she just gives a. She doesn't seem bothered. I assume that we have any amenities that we ask for within the house, correct?
Within the grounds, yes. There is the manor itself. There is the airfield. We have several boarding rooms if you prefer not to stay in the manor.
Misha looks at Fyodor. Feels like that would be best for us.
Edwin. Yes, there is also a few other amenities that I don't think will matter. Stables and the like. The garages, if you were.
For some reason, she lights up at the meaning of stables. Do you have anything other than horses in there?
Just horses, I'm afraid. My own personal hobby.
She pulls out her phone. I have a few requests then, if I can send them to anybody.
I must ask absolute privacy for any room that we are assigned as well.
Agreed.
There are cameras in all the hallways, but the rooms themselves are private.
Very well.
And this is for the manor and for the boarding houses.
All right.
As soon as his contract is signed, Wolfgang just stands up. He's like, "Well, could you have somebody show me to where I could be staying then? I'd like to get set up promptly."
Of course. Assuming you are staying in the manor, Grayson, if you'd be so kind. And the butler comes over and fixes his mustache a little bit and adjusts his coat. Right, this way, please. And he'll lead you up.
As they're like walking away from the main room, Wolfgang's like, "Now, how quickly could you soundproof this room?"
Are you looking for this to be your laboratory or for your bedchambers?
What's the difference?
Right, I'll bring you to the rooms.
Well, it depends on where you're going to sound like Chewbacca, I guess.
We'll say he gives you this room on the second floor, Wolfgang.
Shit. Let's see.
Which is just up here.
Okay.
One of the bigger rooms. That's the bathroom. There's your closet. The rest of it is whatever.
I go in the bathroom and I drink the toilet water.
All right, appropriate.
Eddie, are you doing all right? You've had a wild look ever since the money mentions.
So when they go to leave, Eddie like sticks around for like just a little bit longer than he probably should, and is like just keeping his eyes on his new boss, and goes, "Anything you need done," and then just walks after them. And the second he gets asked that, he sort of like looks over at this German individual who has not given his name at all, or Russian individual who's not given his name at all, and he sort of like looks at him and goes, "Yeah, I'm real good," like still fucking wild-eyed.
He holds out a hand for you to shake.
He like reaches his hand out, and it's like a bear is holding on to your hand and just fucking shakes it.
he gives a more normal, firm shake. Welcome to the big times. I am Piotr. And he gives a little nod.
He sort of nods his head and goes, "Eddie, yeah."
Have a good sleep. Or rest, whatever.
Misha stays behind and asks for some real weird shit. Like, anybody in her vicinity?
I think Frankie's still hanging out around there.
I'm still
Yeah,
hanging
Frankie's
out
more or
also.
less kind of listening to a lot of this going on. He's reading over the contract because he does have to deal with contracts still, and he doesn't see anything out of the normal or out of the unexpected.
Yeah, the normal is subjective, but yeah.
Yeah. He'll know, of course, at that point he'll sign it and be like, "All right, well, I guess I'll go to the room that I'm given, so I can make sure that it checks out, because don't want anything up in there jumping out at the last minute."
Yeah, so watch out for the Jubilees and the Gnarlies.
Right?
What is Misha asking for? Strange requests?
About 10 things of sheets and a live goat.
A live goat.
Piotr said, don't forget the hay.
And hay.
Very well.
And we'll be staying off away from the mansion. So
Very
wherever
well,
the outer quarters are.
I'll have one of the soldiers lead you.
You have my thanks.
It might take me some time to get you a live goat this time of year.
She looks sad.
I'll do
Bad.
my best.
Whatever very rare state you have then. And off she goes. Wherever the guard is, bye.
Yep. Yeah, they'll lead you out. They're not on this map, of course, but they'll lead you to the bigger kind of building where like soldiers and guests and stuff are staying. Be given one of the nicer rooms in the top floors.
Piotr stops briefly by that butler again.
Mm.
Might I see that weapon that you're holstering?
Gives you a small smile and raises his hand. I would rather not, if it's all the same with you.
Ah,
I must keep my secrets.
what a shame, but very well. And gives him a nod and moves on.
Matter though, of course. Anyone who's staying in the building, any of the rooms on this side are on the right side of the second floor are free gain, except for the ones that are already claimed. Also, this room, the one at the top of on the other side of the stairs.
So they're like going through, like they get brought up or whatever, and Eddie, like one of the people goes like opens the door and is just like, "This is one of the rooms that you guys could stay in," and Eddie immediately goes, "Tips," and like walks in, and goes, I got the big room because this is bigger than literally his apartment back home. And it's just like the smallest room and just sort of looks around, just like, yes.
Well, there you go. Does like the other ones have its own bathroom,
Uh,
closet, and
Ooh,
everything.
this is so
Pure-
nice. I don't have to share the bathroom with my mom anymore.
Piotr immediately
But-
spends his time covering up the windows.
You guys would be if you're going to the bunkhouse, you'd be in a different building. But yes, easy enough to cover up the windows. They have heavy curtains as they are. If you wanted to reinforce those with sheets, easy.
As long as
Oh.
there's sheets and hay, they're fine.
All right. You brought all that, and yes, eventually you would be brought, basically just like a cooler full of uncooked meat. Most of it's beef and pork, but there's
She doesn't seem to care.
What, no lamb?
no
What kind
lamb,
of shitty rich place is this?
all the lamb's been eaten.
Ah, yes, that's right.
There's the beef and the pork are for leftovers for the peasants.
It's peasant meat.
It's like grade A Wagyu beef and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's the peasant meat. Peasant wagyu.
All right. In that case, everyone who is, you find your rooms and are able to unpack, get yourselves comfortable for the time you're there. Wolfgang, you would be told it would probably take a few days to soundproof the room properly. But if you wished, they could find means of doing it quicker.
He's
Neat.
patient.
Okay.
Needless to say, Piotr is also gonna sweep for any listening devices and stuff like that.
Did you eat?
Nothing in the room.
Because we have spaghetti if you want any.
There are cameras and and recording devices in the hallways.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
we
not
have
concerned about those.
leftovers.
It's just general, safety stuff. When you run a multi-million-dollar private military
Okay.
company specializing in killing the supernatural, you got to make sure everything is top notch.
Yeah,
Quote unquote
Uh,
supernatural.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Mhm.
don't feel very good.
I mean, even if it was a normal
Well-
multi-billion-dollar private military company,
That's all this is.
that's all it is.
Alright,
There's a bunch of weirdos with guns.
Yeah.
love you too.
That's just what they call targets. Imps, ghosts, whatever. That's just their code names for them.
Yeah.
we got an ESLab too.
I know what?
Yeah, Frankie Barr, the ESLab.
Oh yeah.
The what?
God.
The what?
You are able
He's
to
celeb.
rest.
He's a celebrity.
There would be a few things throughout the day you'd be checked in on by the butlers. Make sure you're comfortable after like an hour of being left alone in the rooms. Any requests, they're happy to give you. If not, then you're allowed to spend the night if there's anything you want to do in the manor. Frankie, because of the room you chose,
Oh God.
you would hear things through the wall several hours into your guys' stay. You ate lunch around like 2 in the afternoon or so.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some time left alone. Oh, there's full internet access and everything if y'all are interested.
Oh,
Mr.
good.
Barr. But you would hear things like whispered incantations, mangled, sort of almost like speaking backwards Latin. The sound.
I
of
understand
bubbling
that.
alchemical stuff. Yeah, just incantation stuff.
Okay. Random
No
words.
direct- yeah, no direct, magic's happening.
Whatever.
The sound of
They're ju-
bubbling alembics and that sort of deal. And an uncomfortable heat next to the wall. Like if you move to the wall, it itself is just unbearably hot. But like 2 inches away from it, it's cold again.
Which wall specifically?
That'd be this wall here on the
The
bottom.
south wall.
Oh, okay.
The big room with the magic circle in it is causing something to happen.
I assume it's probably just the fireplace on the other side.
But yes, that would be going on in such times.
Okay. If anything, cameras out, and I'd be like, yeah, you all can hear this? Can you hear this? Well, first off, here's my room. Look at this place. Much better than the basement, let me tell you. You hear that? You hear all that? This is the kind of crazy stuff that we have to deal with at rich houses. This listen to this. This is whatever's got someone's got their TV up way too loud. When this wall really hot, really hot. I don't know if you obviously can't see it because I can put my hand on it. Fireplace on the other side. I bet you this house will burn down in 90 years if they keep using it.
Is that Frankie Bar I hear through the wall?
Well, if you're in a you're in a different place.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Had they been
if
in that room, you would have heard some shit, man.
so
Dead goats.
after some time passes, Edwin gets like a punching bag into his room
Yeah.
and like some basic workout supplies.
Yeah.
And after like making sure everything's sort of set up the way that he wants it to be, he sort of makes his way over and goes to Frankie's room, like very specifically, and like knocks on the door.
I go ahead and open the door.
Touching the wall. You hear the knock on the door.
I go and I open the door. Camera's still in hand, of course.
Yeah. And he's gonna just sort of like look at Frankie, nod his head, and goes,
What's up, Edwin? Or is it just Ed?
you can just call me Eddie.
Eddie, what's going on, man? You get a chance to watch the videos?
And he like shakes his head and just goes, nah, man. And he sort of looks at you and goes, so you really don't believe in any of this shit?
Well, why would I? I mean, it's all fake in the first place. Have you not been watching? You should watch those videos. You'll understand.
So the second that Frankie says that it's all fake in the first place, Eddie's gonna like take his shirt off, and his body is like fucking coated in scars and stuff. Just like he looks like a dude who has seen just the hardest life that you can imagine. And he's just coated in scars, and he like leans over, and you see that there's like puncture wounds into his shoulder, and he goes, the vampire, he knows about me knocking out, gave me that. My roommate, back when I was in my old orphanage days, gave me this with a fey butter knife, and he like motions to like a scar on his like lower abdomen. He sort of like just begins listing his scars and like looking Frankie like dead in the eye as he's doing it.
I'm still recording, obviously. Just kind of nodding along as he's talking. And be like, you should so see that video, Vampires Defanged. You'll love it.
He like looks at you very seriously as you're like, it's like very clear that it's not going through your head.
Nope.
And he just like nods his head at you and just goes, all right, man. Just be careful out there, right, bud? And like,
Right.
he
You
pats
too,
on the-
man. I mean, really, I hope nothing happens to anybody that's here. I don't want anyone to die. But I
And-
don't think we're going to die because of, creatures. I think someone's been playing too much 40K about this whole plague area or whatever.
You like you say that, and there's like this very, very sad look on his face, and he goes, "Ain't I'm gonna make sure that you get out of this one, bud. But you
I
should
got
get
your
out
back.
of here."
Get out of here. Oh, man,
Yeah.
I'm getting paid for this. I'm getting paid well. I can finally move. I can get rid of my damn Yugo, man.
And he sort of nods his head and goes, "Listen, Frankie, I ain't had the best life, not nearly, but I can tell you right now, you're going to die if you stick around here, and you seem like a good guy, but if you stay
Give me a root beer.
with us with that attitude, I won't be able to save you from everything."
That's okay. That's why I've got Mr. Electric with me.
Do you pull out a taser? Like, do you pull out the taser?
Yeah.
And he like looks at it, and looks at you, and like gives you the saddest little smile, and just nods his head and goes, "Sure thing, bud," and just like pats you on the shoulder again, just a little bit too hard, and just gives a wave over his shoulder and like heads back to his room.
Have a good night, man. Sleep well. Videos are up. Just let me know what you think of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Frankie's a dead man.
On that note, seeing as you mentioned we had access to the internet, he does do a brief search on Frankie, but he probably clicks out of the video soon enough.
Yeah, it starts playing, and there's like some like sci-fi music or whatever playing, and just closes the video.
I actually have
just
the
gonna
song
see it.
picked out for it too.
Yeah.
It's just the most obnoxious YouTuber.
Yeah, it is just like sci-fi action music.
You this link or damn it, hold on, didn't do it right. Yeah,
Like,
no, I actually chose like 40 seconds of a song randomly. That's like the sci-fi adventure music kind of thing. That's his intro music.
It's just discount Doctor Who music.
Oh no. It's
it's more like The Expanse or something.
Oh yeah.
there it goes.
Yeah.
Nightmares.
What do you think of these lot, Misha?
To be fair, since they're out in the other room, you guys don't see this, but this whole room is trashed. There's hay everywhere. There are sheets that she's tearing to pieces, and her fingers aren't normal anymore. You guys won't see this, but she's just looking at Misha or at Peter. I don't think any of this is good.
That German one is still a mystery to me. Though there have been some thoughts regarding that, but nothing concrete yet. Eddie is very strong, I can tell you that already. Just from his handshake alone. I'm curious just how extreme that is, because if he really punched a vampire to the point of knocking it out, that is impressive.
Absolutely. I don't doubt his capabilities. I don't even doubt the doctor's capabilities, but the one with the camera is the problem.
The one with the camera, he's a strange one.
She's throwing meat around the room. It's wherever it lands, there's blood splatter, and she just tosses more on the other side. The whole room is being trashed.
There's something about him. There's something. Like, he doesn't grate on me as much as he probably should, which is strange to me.
He's stupid, and you don't like him. The color starts fading from her hair.
I wouldn't underestimate him.
Very yellow now.
I'm more inclined to believe he was invited here for a reason, unless this Miss Belgrade is doing it as some sort of practical joke.
I don't think this is a joke. I think she's entirely serious, and
Yes,
maybe
as
this is for her amusement, or mayhaps she wants to be recognized for this.
Perhaps she wants footage of certain parts for a reason. Maybe she is trying to expose
Then why
the reality of some things.
select an idiot to do it and not ask one of us? Even if I do not understand. She takes out this smartphone. Now her hands are claws. And she's trying to move the screen. And she ends up holding it out to him.
Trying to use it with two long nails.
And she's holding it out to him, and he's like, I don't understand.
Sometimes an ordinary source can be very useful for such things.
She just grunts and she takes
Although
on
I'm
everything, and now she's very lanky with no features whatsoever. And she just kind of gets in the hay and the sheets and just starts rolling around.
Frankie's
still not
getting all this hate, and there's no reason.
I'm still not
Doesn't
sure he is,
give.
I'm still not sure he is ordinary, mind you.
I'm tired.
Yes. Well, we shall see, I suppose.
While everyone are having these conversations, Frankie and Eddie and the two Russians, Dr. Wolfgang, your supplies are brought up to your room. Medical tables, trays covered in different, forceps and scalpels and all of that kind of stuff. It is pretty much all you could ask for. Top of the line medical suite basically installed in your bedroom. There are some things that are beyond normal medicine. Vials of ever so slightly bubbling red liquid that seems to seal wounds the second it touches them. Ointments and creams of the like that are the same. There's also what looks to be a jar filled with leeches that are stained sort of red in coloration, kind of squirming and worming their way inside. No idea what they're for. They just seem to be part of the accoutrement of what's been brought in with everything else that you might have requested, as well as a dossier. Which is trying to find it. You're muted, by the way, teacher. We've been talking. Well, he might not even be here. I might have just been talking to dead air. Well,
That's unfortunate.
that is unfortunate. Say lovey.
Oh, well.
Oh well. Unless there's anything else anyone would like to do, you are free to each get a long rest in. Frankie, you
No.
can get your hit points back.
Does Piotr get delivered any of that ammo and stuff he was talking about?
Not in the evening, no.
Alright.
That would be coming the next morning. Which, saying you all got your long rests in, nothing happens in the manor. It is well guarded and peaceful enough. Actually, anyone who has a passive perception score of 17 or higher. Is there anyone?
17, yep, I have that.
All right, let me check. TJ's. He would not. Piotr, you hear gunshots far in the distance in the night, but it is far and quiet. Not enough to cause too much alarm. It's not like it would, well far away, several miles.
What sort of regularity? More like hunting shots, or?
Oh, fully automatic fire.
Oh.
Sounds like a few bursts from some kind of machine gun, assault rifle, something of the like. Perhaps a couple. It's hard to tell. You're just kind of right on the cusp of being able to make it out. A couple volleys at the very least. But you're all able to get your sleep in, heal up. Breakfast is brought to your rooms pretty early. Just pretty decent, like really fancy omelets with like gold leaf on them and shit. Like it almost seems like they're really over exaggerating the money.
Which what?
Like unnecessary amount of like opulence.
Gold leaves? What are we supposed to eat those?
Gold leaf. Yeah, it's more like gold like flake on top of the.
What?
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's fucking weird.
No, that's Frankie's idea. What? What? What the hell is this?
I can't even see the steak anymore because of all the caviar on top of it.
But you would all be called to Gabrielle's office or one of the study rooms, probably realistically, around after you've had breakfast.
All right.
Yeah, just gathered up. Sorry, I'm reading over my notes real quick to make sure I'm not forgetting anything, any events that are supposed to be happening.
Putrid
You're-
devours some breakfast in the privacy of his room.
Yeah, of course. If you don't answer the door, or if you just speak through it, they will leave you a plate of whatever, like a little tray on a stand outside the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. They don't push or pry or anything like that. You working with crazies. But the butlers, in particular, Violetta and Grayson, will find each and every one of you and kind of gather you up and lead you down. Probably together.
I make sure that I'm wearing clean underwear today.
Oh, you weren't yesterday?
No,
Oh,
I
great.
had to ride in a bus, man.
It's true. You gotta wear dirty underwear to ride in the
It-
bus.
Right.
He had that swamp ass going.
Oh,
See?
God.
Oh, maybe he was the one that smelled like sulfur. Fuck.
Why it didn't bother me?
Nah.
Fucking kill me. Fucking right between the eyes, please.
TJ, you back? Nope.
Oh,
He had to cook dinner, I think, today, so he might be doing that.
oh, maybe. That is about that time for him.
Oh, he did mention that, I think. Yeah.
I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
I'll catch him up on anything he misses. It's fine. But you're all brought down to Gabrielle, and she's sitting on a like fine leather couch, and the coffee table in front of her is covered in loose papers and dossiers and stuff. That I'll just throw the dossier here instead of getting it to him. Several photographs are spread across it. Creatures that are like these sort of deformed, hunched-backed, like insectoid humanoids in blue sort of chitin, carrying tridents and spears of some kind. There are what look like human bodies that have been bloated up like balloons filled with flies kind of flowing around them. It's very grotesque, particularly those ones, but there's also things like human torsos that have ripped open so the ribs are like teeth, moving around on all four, crawling sideways on all four limbs with their chests towards the sky.
Regularly unfazed. We should just start stumming through it. She's dressed less fancy today.
Yeah, at the center of it all, there is a picture of a sort of lanky, just sort of looks like a giant, over-exaggerated cockroach with several like razor sharp clawed limbs coming out from underneath a tattered cloak that is sort of, it's like leaning over a dead body, ripping an arm off when the picture was taken. And I will say all the pictures are relatively poor quality. They're a little grainy, a little low definition, a little analog as well. It seems like whatever they've done to try and get these pictures of these things has to left the quality less than desirable, but it's enough to give you kind of a vague idea of what they look like.
Yeah.
I can get you one of Akishigal at least. Imagine this, but like over a pile of corpses, ripping one of their arms, like middle of ripping an arm off and bringing it to its mandibles.
Lovely.
It's large by the size of it, by the look of it, compared to the other bodies. Probably in its hunched state, about 12 feet tall. But as you enter, Gabrielle is kind of looking over these, reading through some of them. There's like little dossiers equipped with like when they were taken, who took them, what was the little like after action report of what they found. Mentions the 5 soldiers that died when they went to investigate the sort of weakening of the veil in that area. There's a few mention of names, professional hunters, other organizations and stuff that might be interested in these or who have given information on them in turn, that are sort of like stapled in and placed in the folders. But as you enter, Gabrielle looks up and smiles and goes, well, I believe we should get to work.
Yeah, so before that, should I know what the burst fires were about last night?
We had a perimeter breach on the north side of the property. It's fine.
Good.
It was taken care of.
Very well done.
Yes, which is why I think we should very quickly get to work, because that means that they are getting more active and perhaps getting close to their goals. I am going to be sending the 5 of you via helicopter. If that is okay with all of you. I don't know if anyone's flown one before.
I have.
We'll be sending you north of the property, a few 100 miles or so. There is the epicenter of these events here in the state. We believe that it is around a common popular campsite and sort of logging area, sort of this very popular around outdoorsman folk. Not quite my scene, but there are caves and places of the like in that area, and we think that they are shoring up in one of these. We've had drones flying overhead taking pictures of the area, and had a few men out and about. We lost several of them, but that seems to be where the largest influx of these events have been taking place, at least near us. There are worse ones elsewhere.
Inside the caves, you said?
We believe that in the cave system somewhere around there is where they are setting up their nest, hive. I'm not entirely sure. Aki Shigal, what we've learned from Liv and her contacts is that it is he's the Lord of Vermin, and so whatever that might mean.
Do you have any appropriate camo gear that I might wear?
I could get you something, yes.
Very well. Thank you.
And she looks towards Grace and kind of gives a nod, and he just turns and starts walking off.
Like, are we going, like, this is out of character, are we going someplace where, like, a ghillie suit would be fitting in?
No, ghillie suit would be in the forest.
You are going. It is forested, still,
Oh,
but it
okay.
is snowy, so you wanna roll around in the snow with it a bunch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, white ghillie suit.
Yeah, but it is like forested, sort of like low mountains in the area. She would also have like topographic maps and stuff laid out. Kind of gesturing as she points. It's not super important, but this area. Insert circling an area with her finger as she's talking. We have reason to believe that acid and fire aren't particularly useful against this creature, if that is anything to worry about.
She nods.
As well as frost, electricity, and poison.
She looks more upset.
I am aware it is quite a danger.
Endurance.
The creatures are affected by HW ammo, I assume.
Yes, they are unholy creatures. Aki Ishigal himself, I'm less sure of. But the little ones seem to be they're well affected by silver as well.
Silver.
Yes.
Do you have
They should be affected by fists and by blades if you have those.
Do you have a pair of silver brass knuckles, so to speak?
I could, yes.
I would appreciate that.
I don't have them on me. But I have this, and she reaches into her coat and pulls out a basically just like an old, probably like early 1900s ish pocket knife with like gold on either side of a really nice wooden handle. And as she unfolds it, the blade seems to be silver, and well treated. I have this, my own personal emergency knife, but we have we use machetes among our men when they need them. I could see about brass knuckles. I'll have to ask around. I'm sure one of the men might have one. Have a set. They are quite popular. Yeah, they'll find you something. As for bullets, we have a large surplus of
Can you pull the
our normal service rifles with silver.
Pull the plug.
If that is doable for you, Piotr.
It is. What rifles and what ammo?
They are. Hang on, I have a list of what they use.
You don't want it?
They use. There it is. Yeah, they use a suppressed 300 blackout rifle, basically a big AR-15, like an M4, but a slightly bigger bullet. They do 2d6 damage.
Okay.
I'll give you the whole thing on your sheet in a second. I'll give you one of their weapons. They have a
Okay.
few attachments on them and stuff too.
Sure.
Else, just trying to make sure you guys are well equipped before she sends you out there. You're armed.
Can we all have radio communications between us as well?
I could get you radios. Yes.
Earpiece.
Yes.
I believe I have a two-way radio. Is that come with two pieces?
No, it's the one of a set, or two-way radios means you can give and receive, as opposed to just receiving. But you can equip all of you with two-way radios, as well as it would be like headsets with a microphone and being able to hear each other. She can do that. Armor? Anyone need any armor?
I have an undercover vest.
So do I.
I've got armor. Never know
it-
about those dogs that run around.
I mean, if she has better than an undercover vest, sure.
What's the undercover vest doing? What's it's?
No idea. I can't remember.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's say light armor, AC 13.
The idea is that it's hidden, so it's harder to see. It's not like obvious that you have armor on.
Well, yeah, I'm wondering the mechanics behind it to find the better set.
Yeah, it's AC 13 armor basically that's hidden.
Okay. Here's the weapons, armor, and explosives book. Yeah, it doesn't have any better light armor, but if you're looking for a medium, she could offer tactical vests.
If I have light and medium proficiency.
What's your dexterity score?
Dexterity is 18.
Mine's 4. 18.
You're both better off with the light armor.
Yeah, I thought so.
Alright, that's fine. I'll keep what I have.
If she's offering a tac vest, Ed would definitely jump on that.
Yeah, easy enough. It would just be like one of the ones her soldiers are wearing, right? This sort of simple tan, like chest protector tactical vest.
Yeah.
It gives you an armor class of 16 plus up to 2 dexterity modifier. So if you have at least 2, you get an 18 armor class.
So yeah, he throws that on.
All right.
18 armor class, that would be better than me.
It gives you disadvantage on stealth.
Oh, no, never mind.
They are going to someplace snowy, she said, right?
Yeah. You're only going a couple hundred miles north. You're not going very far. This is very close to home for her.
Alright. Misha goes into another room for a few minutes.
Okay.
Mr. Barr, it might be advisable for you to take some armor as well. We are going in with weapons, after all.
I go ahead and pop open the fanny pack and pull out effectively it looks like a vest that goes up and over my head and covers the front and back of me. Like a poncho almost.
Yep. It looks to be like stiff like Kevlar is.
He briefly holds it between his fingers.
Yeah.
Is this
feels like-
vest up?
It's armor.
Interesting.
It's at the very least stab proof.
Jesus.
So Edwin is gonna like look over at Frankie, and he's going to like take one of the pictures that like the clearest picture that they have on there,
Mhm.
like available, and he's gonna
there's
like
a pretty good one of this like gnarled sort of tumorous humanoid that's missing half of its face, but like it's like there's still I don't know, it's like vaguely between like human and demon.
yeah.
But it's
He's
a
gonna
very like clear image.
he's gonna take it and he's gonna hold it in his hand for a second, and he's gonna look at Frankie and he's gonna hold it in front of Frankie's face and go, "What do you see there?"
Looks like a guy in a costume. Why?
Look at it.
Yeah.
And no, he like looks you dead in the eyes and is just like, actually look at it.
I stare at it some more. Looks like a bug. Looks like someone wearing a costume who's standing up on two legs. Looks like some really good effects makeup that was bought at the Halloween Spirit store last year. I can show you. Hold on a second. I pull up my cell phone and actually pull up the saved ad that I have that sells makeup from Spirit.
All right.
At this exact time, Misha comes back in and her hair is Snow White.
Eddie like sort of drops the picture and just sort of looks over at their benefactor and just goes, "I'll take as much holy water as you can give me."
Yes, I can equip you with Oh, there's been a bit of a shortage trying to all of our men. I can get you 3 vials.
He sort of thinks about it for a moment and nods his head and goes, "That'll work."
I could try and scrounge up more, but we are in a bit of a rush.
He just shakes his head and goes, "That'll work."
Good. She kind of looks between all of you and looks at Misha, their hair white, and goes, "Oh, quite lovely."
Thank you. More fitting.
Yes, perhaps. If only I could do such.
She smiles a little bit and she kind of ties her hair to the side a little bit.
Hmm.
Slightly longer, too.
She looks towards Eddie as well and past him towards Frankie and back again. It should be fine.
He just shrugs his shoulders and is like, "I'm getting paid to hit shit."
Yes.
But it's very clear that he is uncomfortable with Frankie being there.
Mhm.
But it's very clear that he's like not.
Yeah, $100,000 was enough to make him not.
Yeah,
complain.
this woman could tell him to start punching Frankie right now, and he would.
Yeah. Misha looks at
Well, she didn't have to use her charm ability either. Wow.
Nope.
Misha looks at Eddie and it's just like, if he dies, it's not on your hands. Don't set yourself on fire to keep him warm.
I wouldn't set myself on fire for anyone to stay warm. Come on.
Even me.
We're good. Y'all are worrying way too much. Nothing to worry about here.
I could offer up riot shields for anyone who wants that little extra barrier between them and whatever might be coming at them.
I think I can use shields. Misha raises a hand.
Fair enough. Yeah, if you want a riot shield, it gives you a +2 to your armor class. While it is equipped in your hand.
Do
Yeah.
I need 2 hands from a staff?
No, but it does 1 less damage die, so it goes from like a D8 to a D6.
Oh, that's fine. Take it. For real.
Yeah.
Higher
I'll
level
take
class?
I'll take a riot shield with me just in case.
Very well. And these are like the like plexiglass, like police riot shields. They're like ballistic protective, but not like bulletproof. You know.
Yeah.
But they give you a +2 to your armor class, make it a little bit harder to get chomped on.
If they give him the camo gear and stuff, he probably looks like more like a normal American operative.
Yeah, they would give you the thing that they would have easy enough to get you would be basically a big white poncho, like white and gray kind of molted colors.
So notably, when Eddie like puts the tack vest on, he leaves like he doesn't have a shirt underneath, so it's just the tack vest. And he's doing that
Nice.
thing where he's like resting his arms inside the tack vest, just like relaxing it like it's a hoodie, almost. It's like it's barely like fitting onto his form when he's just sort of like chilling like that.
I would recommend a coat.
And he sort of smiles at her and goes, it gets in the way.
Well, you're the one that's punching people, not me.
What about our resident doctor? What are you taking into combat?
TJ is
Still
I
not
think he's
there.
begun.
Yes.
He has a scalpel on him.
A frying pan.
Insert attack here.
Scalpel. Yeah. So it's a Glock.
Glock 70. The
Fucking
doctor
right.
pulls out a gun.
Hey man, sometimes the best way to stop people from killing each other is to kill them first.
Do you
That's
have
true.
do you have a silencer attachment, by the way?
For their rifles, they do. For anything else, they do not.
Okay.
The rifle comes with it. I've been looking up their gun as we've been talking, trying to get the details right. They-
Oh, an ambulance, but not for me.
Fucking doctor, you seriously?
I think I've got everything. Got my
Yeah.
knife,
I think I'm good.
I got my taser, and I got my brass knuckles.
Oh, did she ever find me a silvered pair of brass knuckles?
She would eventually, yeah.
Alright, how do I put the riot shield on the shit?
If you just drag a shield from like the compendium, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it'd just be a normal shield.
Yeah, there is a ballistic shield that is slightly better, but they aren't offering those up for free because they're really stupid expensive in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, multi-million-dollar company or not, you're not just handing those things out.
How do I put it on?
Oh, that's a pretty cool looking gun.
It didn't give me the modifier for it though. It would be 18 armor class now. There we go. When it's
Yeah, it's basically just like an AR-15, but a little bit more modern. It shoots a
Yeah.
slightly bigger bullet.
Yeah, I looked it up. It looks cool. The range on that is mwah, as well.
2d6 dex, piercing. 6. Where are all the rest of their stuff? Sorry, I'm just trying to get this thing. Making sure you guys are all ready so I can brutally murder you.
Hey!
Hey!
Woo!
Just from my knowledge, how much longer are we planning on going?
I'm thinking hour
Another hour? Okay.
tops. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys will probably get into a combat, and we might not finish that combat this time around. But
Okay. Yeah.
Do
Just
you really want
wanted
to end in
sure.
the middle of a combat then?
well, we can end in the lull in the combat.
Okay.
Sure.
Firing, kill the guys. Second wave comes, cut. Next time start. Second wave reaches you. We can always end early. We can end once you guys start going into the woods. It would extend this game an extra session, which would be kind of nice.
Still good to go.
I'm down. I need to know when I should start heating up my oven for supper.
Oh, well, honestly, since TJ's not here, and I don't want to leave him out of the campaign, I don't
Yeah.
want to do too much without him. We could call this early and just say it was a short session.
Oh,
We
That's
could
fine.
do that just so that like everybody's on the same footing when we go into the next session
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah. I'd catch him up and do everything and make a thing. I don't know. Hang on.
I don't want to push anything. Obviously, I'm fine to go for a little while longer, but yeah.
We'll go for a little. We'll finish getting you guys geared up. We'll cut as you guys get in the helicopter. The takeoff scene. I have a thing planned for it, but sorry, this is taking me longer than I want. I'm trying to find all the stuff.
No worries, no worries, no rush.
Take your time.
Is music.
I like both your characters, by the way.
Thank you.
I like the doctor as well, but I wish TJ was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Two to each of these.
Whew, that's some range.
Yeah, it's got a 4x scope on it. It also has a flashlight on it. A torch. And got the improved accuracy, which is the +1 and +2, and the improved thing with +2, and it's suppressed. Yeah, it has,
Very nice
it has a
gun.
torch and a laser sight on it, so it's got like a laser light combo. Yeah, it's a pretty decent little gun. I think that's all I gotta put on there. If you want to add the weapon stuff, I'll send you the document with all the attachments on it. I gotta kind of use the restroom, so
I'll just for now say the flashlight, suppressor. What else did that? 4x scope.
4x scope. It also has a laser sight, suppressor, torch, and a 4x scope. And it also has a improved accuracy and improved damage bonus, which is the +2 to both accuracy and damage. I don't know. It's got a better compensator on it or something, right? I don't know how the guns are supposed to work in this. All right, I gotta go use the restroom. I'll be right back. I'm gonna DM TJ real quick.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought that was you firing a flashlight for some reason. My brain just like couldn't compute.
I wish I could fire a flashlight like that. It just yeets it really hard.
hello.
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 My bowels are empty and I feel much better.
Good. I'm glad to hear you got a load off your mind.
And your bowels.
Both. Yes. Uh,
Are the hobbits at Isengard? Are you happy now?
I very much look forward to seeing the combat.
it's an interesting system. Lots of guns. Lots of using cover probably.
Yeah.
You guys are given everything that you ask for. Here you get. See, each magazine holds 30 rounds. So
How much does it shoot per?
well, it's a fully automatic weapon, but it has select fire, so you can choose to toggle it. Which is, I think I have those rules put somewhere. Yeah, automatic fire or burst fire. It can do both of those. In the resources and notes room listed.
Yeah, I have to look that up again. Let's see.
It's in the third room in the World of Shadows thing, which is automatic fire. You can use 5 rounds of ammunition per attack, and it deals the automatic damage, which is 2d6 for this ammo type, or 4d6. Sorry, so you do double the damage, but cost 5 bullets per attack. Or you can spray a 10-foot cube, which takes 10 bullets, and then everything is like a dex save against that calculation, or take the damage.
Cool.
Sort of spraying an area or spraying a lot of bullets at one target.
That could certainly be useful, and depending.
Pray and pray.
Yeah, basically. Or you're given, let's say, 120 rounds of ammunition. So that's what? 4 magazines? No. Yeah, 4 magazines for it. They use silver bullets, so they don't do anything extra, but they are silvered. Which means they go past like certain magic weapon resistances and stuff. If that's everything, everyone will get what they want. They attack vest, brass knuckles, or silver knuckles, all of it. Anything else you requested? If you wanted food, they bring you more food. If you wanted a beer, they'd bring you a beer. You are their guests, and they are happy to accommodate you.
Their highest quality whiskey.
Yeah, it's some good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Misha is like, don't clean our quarters, please.
She gives you a skeptical look at that, but quickly makes a note on a piece of paper.
Thank you.
All right. In that case, I think we are set to be off. All right. This way. I'll lead you all out myself.
He's exchanged his winter hat for a more usual cap.
Yushanka?
Yeah, his Ushanka.
Pull down the fur over the ears. Gotta keep warm. It is cold out. It is. Someone roll me a d20. Whoever. First person to get it gets the thing.
Oh fuck! I did it too.
It's 10 degrees outside.
Oh,
Fahrenheit.
That's. Oh, Fahrenheit. Okay. I was about to say,
That's
see,
still-
that's not so bad.
that still means 20 minutes outside you can get frostbite.
Yeah, it is negative 12 Celsius.
Yeah, that's biting your face cold.
So Eddie steps outside, shirtless with just the tack vest on, sort of like feels it for a second. He's still got like obviously full pants on or whatever, and he reaches into like his back pocket and pulls out like a ratty toque and pulls it over his head and just starts jumping in place as they're like going it. Like he's just constantly moving.
Just like doing like jump ropes with like an invisible jump rope. Just
Yeah, literally just like even in like all of the snow that's around them, he's just constantly moving
Mhm.
just to keep his blood going so that he's warm.
All right.
Piotr asks for a balaclava.
Yeah, sure. All of them are wearing them. Might as well be important. Something you can grab.
Yeah.
These.
Misha wants a white coat.
There's like guards walking around you.
They look toasty.
They are nicely bundled up.
Yeah. As
Few
they
of them
should be.
are the ones that are like patrolling around the building stop when Eddie comes out and sort of stare at him. There's like silent turn of these masked men. Just catch the reflection of yourself in their glasses, their goggles.
Talking in the radio. Do you see this guy?
Yeah, there's some garbled radio chatter from one of them, and the other one they start walking on again.
If he sees, like, if he notices this at all, he's not going to stop, but he's gonna like point at one of the, like, a couple of the ones that are more physically fit and be like, "That guy gets it. You don't understand." Like, just pointing at people and relating to them, and like, even though they're clearly also judging him. type thing.
Yep.
You hear another guard say, "That's how Steve throws his nipples off."
Frankie's got the nice Parker on that he got from from Christmas from his mom. He's got some heavy gloves on and stuff like that.
all
Christmas sweater.
There's like a heart fitted on there.
Yeah, little heart. And he knows like says I love Mama.
My God, it says Frankie on the top in really bad crocheted letters.
Gabrielle will lead you out through the back along a paved, recently like snow-blown pathway.
Mhm.
Several guards end up moving along with her. Several of these soldiers, as well as Grayson, is traveling along with you as well.
Misha looks at Fyodor. Do not the blades of the helicopter have chance of freezing this cold?
This cold? No.
We keep our things weather ready. You
What's
are
that?
led down to what looks like just a large airfield. There are like three sort of industrial-sized hangars among this like big clearing. And as you're passing them, actually, if anyone would want to take a peek inside, you can. Some of the little side doors are open. They're being led through.
Sure.
Perception check. Anyone who's nosy.
Well, he's been nosy so far, so.
1 sec, I'm sorry.
All right.
Perception for those being nosy. Probably not gonna be great. I'm shit at it. She's looking around.
Yeah, the pair of you are kind of busy talking about freezing helicopter blades and stuff, and as when you do kind of peek around the corners, it's just dark. It's too dark to make anything in detail out.
Yeah.
But you're led down to the end of the field where there is a helicopter currently spinning up, getting ready to take off. There's a pilot, kind of the quintessential zombie movie pilot. The guy's in like a flannel with a baseball cap and the big earphones. Totally wearing like aviator glasses and like a big thick trucker mustache.
Oh, so Kurt
Yeah.
Russell.
Yeah, basically.
Piotr says in a perfect American accent, "Howdy."
Gives you a thumbs up and taps his ear, the headphones, and points to the whirling blades currently making a shit ton of noise.
Misha face pumps rather blatantly.
Gabrielle gestures towards the back seat, which has been open. One of the soldiers is currently standing there with holding the door open for all of you. Just kind of waving you in, not saying anything, just kind of using hand signals to try and get you all loaded up into the helicopter.
He takes a seat by the door.
Easy enough. Get in. There are the 5 of you, 2 of the soldiers, and the pilot.
Mhm.
And once you're situated, it starts to take off.
He's also checking his gear while he's walking in. You know.
Yeah, the doors are slammed closed, and you're. Oh, hang on, I just got a message from TJ. Oh, his dad's been in his room the whole time, watching over his shoulder. I see. I'm sorry, Thomas. But the helicopter starts taking off, lifting up off the ground, kind of pulling away from the runway. Those of you near the windows can see Gabrielle give a wave before she starts walking back. Carries you up and up and up and up into the air, and you start traveling northward. Kind of pulls and leans with you. Anyone who's not flown in a helicopter before, it's a lot ricketier than it looks. Every kind of shift and turn, the whole thing is shaken, and it's not like uncomfortable, but it's certainly like if you're not used to it or familiar with the feeling, it definitely kind of sinks your stomach a little bit.
It makes you feel like you're flying around in a tin can, yeah.
Yeah, even the best ones, especially the best ones.
Okay, so Eddie, anytime that there's a shake, he swears like profusely, and then will like calm down until there's another shake, and he manages to keep himself like calm enough where he doesn't throw up, because this is the first time that he has like gone off the ground type thing.
Oh no.
You'll be all right. You hear Lukashenko
Yeah.
speak more loudly against the.
Are you
One of the
okay,
boys-
man?
Yeah, one of the
Here,
soldiers
take
like,
this.
You're gonna barf. Don't do it in my direction.
I hand him a Dramamine.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I can't do that. It's within the 10-minute period. Got it.
Hmm?
I was looking at something, see if I could do something about that for poor fucking Eddie.
Oh, yeah. I can't help Eddie with the thing.
No, I can't help him with the thing. Yeah.
Aw.
Like, and he's just gonna shake his head and go, "I've been through worse. I've been through worse. I've been through worse. I've been through," like repeating it like it's a mantra.
Mhm.
Here, take this. It'll help.
Just looks at you, goes, "My body is a temple. I don't take drugs. My body's a temple. I don't take drugs."
It's not so often.
It's
It's like
not a
every
drug.
shaking, but there is a bit where it's like every couple of minutes there's like a heavy rattle as like a wing hits the side of the helicopter.
More
It's an
cursing.
herbal supplement. You're fine.
Seriously.
Anyone who
Yeah,
isn't Eddie currently bending over, holding his head between his knees, trying not to vomit.
Yeah.
Anyone looking out the
Seems
windows,
fine. Yeah, she's looking out the windows.
roll me
Yeah.
a perception check.
I have a passive of 17, if that matters.
There are different things. Passive is like your ability to like hear stuff moving behind you and whatever, whereas like actively searching is the roll.
Oh well, 15 ain't bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
You need perception, you said?
Yeah, perception. 14. All right. Piotr, you're the only one who actually notices this at first. As the helicopter gets probably about like 20 minutes away from the airfield, you kind of have lost it behind the horizon at this point. It's going at a good little speed.
Yeah.
You see down in the forest beneath you what looks like a herd of deer kind of moving. But then looking closer, each one of these, what would be like a normal, stag, kind of white-tailed deer or whatever, is twisted and changed in some way. They have like chitinous growths along their sides, some have like bug legs instead of hooves. Antlers are like giant mandibles over their heads. And you see like wildlife in this area has been twisted and changed by whatever is happening. You see a bird not too far away that has in place of like feathers, every one of its feathers is like a dragonfly wing beating against the ground. Its beak has been split in like 4 directions and kind of is like a mandible. It's uncomfortable to look at.
He speaks into his headset.
Mm.
The wildlife has been affected.
Wonderful.
They look twisted. Yeah, may have to be more careful of other things as well when we get down.
Yeah, one of the soldiers who's riding with you goes, "Yeah, the lady's been telling us that we should be doing quarantine actions coming here in the next couple of days. If you guys don't actually get this done."
I mean, I would quarantine now rather than later while we do this work.
Miss Devereaux's been saying that nature will figure it out if we can take care of the source. I don't know. Look, I get paid to shoot shit.
Oh, good. Shoot shit.
Yeah,
she
so
said.
do I, and I point at the
Wait.
camera.
We have something in common. He says.
The soldier looks towards the camera and there's like a little sag in his shoulders, and from what you can see of his eyes behind the goggles, he looks very relieved that he's completely covered, like head to toe. He's got like there's no skin showing.
Don't worry, the footage will be edited,
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
if you know what I mean.
Look, we're almost at the landing zone. Everyone get ready.
Very well.
I pull up my taser.
Okay.
Stab.
Yeah, guys, assault rifles, arcane staves, a taser.
Keep alert, everyone.
I mean, hey, at least you got a taser. Eddie's over there with just his knuckles.
Hey, yeah, but he apparently he can knock out vampires. So
No, that's true.
Hey,
Uh,
Eddie, did you really knock out a vampire with your fist?
And like the second that is brought up, he like holds himself together for a moment and goes, technically it was like a half-breed situation, like a vampire, but like, yeah, I just really got in there and just started fucking and like just starts repeating a story.
Literally a
he's
lurch as the helicopter stops and starts lowering right in the middle of the story.
He's like too in it to notice.
Nice.
Like it's completely taken over his senses.
It starts lowering and lowering. And the doors open up, and this soldier on one side kind of gestures you to leave. All right, from here you're gonna want to go that way. Kind of gestures northeast of where you are. The campground's gonna be about a 10-minute walk. Once you're there, she wants you to do whatever she told you to do. Look for caves or something. We lost men around here, so be careful.
did they have maps?
Yeah.
Do we have a map?
Here. Reaches into a back pocket and hands you a map of the area. It's not like there's no like special annotation or anything, but it's a map.
No, but it's a map.
Yeah.
I don't. Did any of us ask for one before we left?
Nope.
Well, we have one now.
You do have one now. And the soldier gives a little thumbs up and goes, be careful out there, guys. Use the radios. Call back when you're done in the area. We'll come and pick you up, assuming we haven't been overrun.
He says back in his American accent, "We'll be back lickety split."
Be safe.
No. I turned to Piotr and say, no. Say it again, but say, I'll be back.
I'll be back.
There, perfect.
Well,
Got it on
helicopter's
tape.
already starting to peel away, lifting up.
He jumps. Yeah, he gets out of the helicopter and does that a typical operative, like
And the
secure.
Yeah.
Yeah, securing the area.
Roll me a perception check, Peter.
Get to the chopper.
Yes.
Oh, that's the other way around.
That's
Yeah.
Out of the chopper.
check.
Get out of the chopper.
Peter, as you're kind of lifting your rifle to your eye and looking through the scope and looking around, you start seeing motion in the trees. You
There's
see what looks
motion.
like blue sort of chitinous insects about human sized starting to kind of pull through the trees. And that's where we'll stop, I think.
Yeah.
A little early, but you do see with the 27, you see about 7 of them coming from all directions.
So
7 of these. Hang on, where did I put it?
All right. So I guess next time
Next
we'll
time.
we'll open the combat with a special ability of his then,
Nice.
because he can do that.
yeah, definitely.
The
will
sudden
have
response.
The map ready for next time. For you guys sitting in the clear.
Uh-huh.
All right. I think that was a good little start.
Yeah, good start to the game for sure.
Yeah. I got plans. We'll see. I'm a little bummed TJ couldn't stick with us.
Stay for longer, but hopefully that changes for the next one.
What?
For sure.
Why was this father looking over his shoulder?
I don't know. He just said I just asked if everything was all right, and he said, "Yeah, sorry, my dad came into the room." And I'm taking it he's not left. So
mhm.
I
Doesn't
spent
he
an
like?
hour and a half talking to my mom this morning. So
Right.
No,
Just in
right.
time to go.
yeah, just
we're-
time. You guys got off the helicopter. They gave you a map and kind of pointed in the rough direction where they lost their men for you guys to start your investigation. And as they were peeling off, you saw stuff start ripping through the trees towards you. These sort of weird purple-blue chitinous insects.
Hey, the furries are here.
Oh, great, get out. Is that the end of the game for now?
For now, yeah, we're playing